traditional allies while basing our domestic agenda on importing those failed Western European social values. You know, we don't need a president who apologizes for America. We need a president who protects and projects those values. It's pretty simple. We're going to stand with those who stand with us, and we will vigorously defend our interests. And those who threaten our interests, harm our citizens, we will simply not be scolding you. We will defeat you. Our nation cannot and it must not endure 4 more years of aimless foreign policy. We cannot and must not endure 4 more years of rising unemployment, rising taxes, rising debt, rising energy dependence on nations that intend us harm. It's time to get America working again. To get our citizens working in good jobs and getting the government to working for the people again. You know, page 1 of any economic plan to get America working is to give a pink slip to the current residents in the White House. We just got to get back to the basic truths of economic success. You know, as governor, I've had to deal with the consequences of this national recession in 2003. And again, this year, my state faced billions of dollars in budget shortfalls. But we worked hard. We made tough decisions. We balanced our budget, not by raising taxes, but by setting priorities and cutting government spending. It can and it must be done in Washington, D.C. Dr. Schwertner, we have led Texas based on some just really pretty simple guiding principles. One is don't spend all of the money. 2 is keeping the taxes low and under control. 3 is you have your regulatory climate fair and predictable. 4 is reform the legal system so frivolous lawsuits don't paralyze employers that are trying to create jobs. Over the years, we followed this recipe to produce the strongest economy in the nation. Since June of 2009, Texas is responsible for more than 40% of all of the new jobs created in America. Now think about that. We're home to less than 10% of the population in America, but 40% of all the new jobs were created in that state. I've cut taxes. I have delivered historic property tax reductions. I was the first governor since World War II to cut general revenue spending in our state budget. We passed lawsuit reform, including just this last session, loser pays law to stop. I know I've talked a lot about Texas here in the last little bit. And I'm a Texan and I'm proud of it. But first and foremost, I'm an incredibly proud American. And I know something. America is not broken. Washington, D.C. is broken. We need balanced budgets, we need lower taxes, we need less regulation, and we need civil justice reform. Those same 4 principles. Our country's most urgent need is to revitalize our economy, stop the generational theft that is going on with this record debt. I came to South Carolina because I will not sit back and accept the path that America is on. Because a great country requires a better direction, because a renewed nation needs a new president. It is time to get America working again, and that's why, with the support of my family and unwavering belief in the goodness of America, I declare to you today, as a candidate for President of the United States, it's time for America to believe again. It's time to believe that the promise of our future is far greater than even our best days behind us. It's time to believe again in the potential of private enterprise, set free from the shackles of overbearing federal government. And it's time to truly restore our standing in the world, renew our faith in freedom as the best hope for peace in this world that's beset with strife. The change we seek will never emanate out of Washington, D.C. It'll come from the wind-swept prairies of Middle America, the farms and the factories across this great land, from the hearts and the minds of the good-hearted Americans who will accept not a future that is less than our past. Patriots who will not be consigned to a fate of less freedom in exchange for more government. We do not have to accept our current circumstances. We will change them. We are Americans. That's what we do. We roll up our sleeves, we go to work, we fix things. We stand up and proudly proclaim that Washington is not our caretaker, and we reject the state that, in, I think, Margaret Thatcher's words, she said, a state that takes too much from us in order to do too much for us. We will not stand for that any longer. We're dismayed at the injustice that nearly half of all Americans don't even pay any income tax. And you know, and the liberals out there are saying that we need to pay more. We are indignant about leaders who do not listen and spend money faster than they can print it. In America, the people are not subjects of the government. The government is subject to the people. It is up to us, to this present generation of Americans, to take a stand for freedom, to send a message to Washington that we're taking our future back from the grips of these central planners who would control our health care, who would spend our treasure, who downgrade our future and micromanage our lives. It's time to limit and simplify the taxes in this country. We have to quit spending money we don't have. We need to get our fiscal house in order and restore our good credit. And we will repeal this president's misguided, one-size-fits-all government health care plan. Working again. We'll create jobs and we'll build wealth. We'll truly educate and innovate. innovate in science and in technology and engineering and math. We'll create the jobs and the progress that's going to be needed to get America working again. And I'll promise you this. I'll work every day to try to make Washington, D.C. as inconsequential in your life as I can. And at the same time, we'll be freeing our families and small business and states from the burdensome and costly federal government so that those groups can create and innovate and succeed. I believe in America. I believe in her purpose and her promise. I believe her best days have not yet been lived. I believe her greatest deeds are reserved for the generations to come. And with the help and the courage of the American people, we will get our country working again. God bless you.